Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're gonna be looking at Star Wars The Black Series, Black Krrsantan or just Krrsantan as it is written on the box, from Star Wars The Book of Boba Fett series. It's a live action version of Krrsantan that we all wanted to have in our collection, unlike the previous comic book version that Hasbro made that fired up a lot of people. But now this live action version is here and he looks really good. So let's get into the review. First, a quick look at the box. We can see a render image at the top, a short bio. Down here we see that he is number 4 in the Book of Boba Fett line. A nice artwork here on the side of the box. In the front, another render of the figure, and on the other side of the box we see the figure and one accessory, his rifle blaster that he comes with. And then we can read the dimensions of his height. It's 6.9 inches or 17.6 centimeters. That's the height of the figure. It's a plastic-free packaging that Hasbro doesn't make anymore, and now let's take a closer look at the figure. The head sculpt looks really nice. The face really does look like we saw him in live action. He has a kind of slightly opened mouth, lighter gray tone of the beard, and his eyes are well painted. You get a lot of these nicely sculpted hair details all across the figure, and there is even a lot of dry brushing across the whole body. Hasbro really did a great job with that gray dry brushing that brings out a lot of sculpted details of the fur. We can see his braids in the back as well. A lot of these nicely metallic painted details on those braids. It's a shiny paint, so it's reflective, so that's nice. This is a softer plastic, so it does get out of the way if we want to take a closer look at the armor on his chest. And you can see here that we have more of this nice sculpt working, engravings on the chest armor, and that armor goes all around across his body, here to the back. A peg hole here, that's for storaging his blaster rifle. Shoulder armor looks really nice, more of that sculpted engraved details, and these spikes. Down on the belt we can see the pouch and some more engraving details here on the buckle, and you can see that even on the armor and on the belt and even here on the pouch, Hasbro really did a great job with dry brushing, especially the armor, making it look like it's kind of metallic and used, and it really does look really good. It doesn't look like a plain plastic, but it does look like this guy jumped straight from the screen. On the hands we have his knuckle dusters, and they are sculpted and painted. It's a shame that Hasbro didn't give us an alternate fisted hands for this guy like they did for the TVC version, because that would just make this figure even better in terms of posing options, you know, because this guy does get into a fist fight, as we know, and even from what we saw in the show. So those fist hands would make this release even better than it already is. The legs look good as well. Dry brushing on the front, not so much in the back. His Wookiee feet with fingers and hair, and nothing special down here. But all in all, the sculpt and the paint on this guy looks really good. Let's now take a look at his accessories. He comes with only one accessory, and that's his blaster rifle. It's a long rifle. This is a new sculpt. We never saw this one before in the Black Series line. For the most part, it's a dull black piece of plastic, but Hasbro did put some work into it, and they did paint a little bit of detail, like these 2 red buttons, and the barrel is silver, and then the top of the barrel is painted in kind of a metallic blue paint. So there is some paint variety on this accessory, and that automatically makes it look much better than what we get with, let's say, usual clone troopers and their blank weapon accessories. So this one looks really good. You can see the other side, not as many details here as we have on this side. So yeah, it's a nice looking rifle, and as far as I can remember, this is the accurate looking rifle that he had in the Book of Boba Fett. Let's now take a look at his articulation. As always with these Wookiee figures, there isn't that much room for articulation, and that's because of the design and because most of the body is sculpted in a hard, rigid plastic. So for the head, of course, you can't expect to have any articulation, almost any at all. There is a little bit of movement side to side, but because of the way that the hair is sculpted, the head basically covers the whole neck, so there isn't much room for movement. You can look down maybe just a bit, up just slightly. There is a little bit of tilt, not much. You can see underneath the arm that he has a butterfly joint, and that joint doesn't do much, but it is there. Shoulder armor hinders the articulation of the arms, so they can go out this much, and you can't rotate them in a straight line, so the arm movement is restricted. The elbow swivels, and it bends this much. His right hand has an in and out hinge, but his left hand has the up and down hinge, so I'm not sure why they decided to make it that way. I mean, both of the hands have trigger fingers, but I'm not sure because this left hand is the up and down hinge. Is Krrsantan left-handed? I'm not sure. Because of the way that they did it, it will probably be easier for him to hold his blaster in a way that his left hand is on a trigger. There is a cut in the upper part of the torso that gives us side-to-side movement and a little bit of wobble. He crunches forward a little bit, back this much. There is no tie cut, but we still get a little bit of movement in the hips. Legs move out all the way. They move forward this much, back this much. We have a single bend in the knee and the knee swivels. Feet move forward this much, back this much. We have an ankle pivot and peg holes at the bottom of his feet. Okay, so I was just testing to see if he can use the right hand as a trigger finger hand, because from the promo shots that Hasbro showed us, I was kind of worried that he won't be able to do it. Because on those promo shots, he was holding it kind of awkward, not as secure, you know. But from what you can see, I was able to do it, and it does look relatively natural, but I must say that it was kind of a struggle. The left hand is not an issue at all, but the right hand is kind of strange. You have to fight it to put him in this kind of position. Shooting pose is a whole different thing. As you can see, I've managed to put him in a pose where he is still using the right hand as a trigger finger hand, but aiming and shooting pose doesn't look as natural as you would maybe like. But let's try to reverse it and let's try to pose him like he is left-handed. I don't know, I must say that this kind of looks better to me, maybe just a little bit, but I would really like to hear what you guys think, so let me know down in the comments. Let's now compare our Black Krrsantan with some other figures. Here he is with the Black Series, Darth Vader from A New Hope, and the Black Series, The Force Awakens, Chewbacca. Chewie is much taller than Black Krrsantan, and from what I heard, the scale is right. On the other hand, Black Krrsantan is much more wider, bulkier, beefier character, so I feel like these two go great together. And Krrsantan still towers over Darth Vader. Here he is with the Black Series, Book of Boba Fett, and the Black Series Fennec Shand. And you can see how much taller and bigger this guy is compared to these two characters, so the scale works perfectly. Here he is with the Black Series Mandalorian or Din Djarin, and this is the Beskar version, with a custom soft goods cape, and the Black Series Imperial Stormtrooper. Here he is with the other two huge figures that we recently got in the Black Series line. So to the left we have Darth Malgus, and to the right we have Darth Malak. And this just shows you how large this Darth Malgus is. And just to give you guys the idea of the scale, here is Black Krrsantan with the SH Figure Arts Din Djarin Mandalorian and SH Figure Arts The Book of Boba Fett from the Throne set. And this is an amazing figure. If you can, you should get this one. I have the review and the posing video for him and him both on the channel, so go and check it out. I'll leave links in the description of this video. And just one thing that I forgot to mention, you can storage his rifle. You port it here inside of this peg hole, and there is a peg on the rifle, so you align it, press it, and this is how it looks like. All in all, this is a beautiful looking figure. This is the Black Krrsantan in his 6-inch action figure form that we all wanted for our collection. He is finally here. I'm happy that I have him, and he will go great with the rest of my Book of Boba Fett Black Series and SH Figure Arts figures. So yes, extremely satisfied with this release. The sculpt looks beautiful, proportions, they are on point. The dry brushing over the whole body and on the armor parts is beautiful. It makes this figure look that much better. The accessory is the essential one and we have it. It's a shame that we didn't get extra fisted pair of hands, which would be great for some more posing options. The articulation really could be better, especially in his arms and hands. You do have to struggle a little bit to put him in a kind of natural pose when he's using the rifle, but from the standpoint of the design, of the look of the figure, this guy looks beautiful. All that being said, I'm extremely satisfied with this release. It's a great Wookiee figure, it's a great Black Krrsantan figure, and I'm happy to have it. But now I would really like to hear you guys. What do you think about this new Black Krrsantan? Is this something that you will get for your collection, or is this something that you'll be skipping? Let me know down in the comments. Stay tuned for a posing video for this guy, and check out my other videos on the channel. There are a lot of them. I hope that you'll find something to enjoy in. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see ya in the next video.